and JT Show.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this wonderful Thanksgiving Eve, a Wednesday morning, and it is time again for Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. Of course, you'll find us live on Facebook right now if you want to watch the video portion of our show, or you can listen on 1480 WHBC, and we do appreciate you joining us. Today, we are going to talk with Alan Rodriguez, Jülz by Alan Rodriguez, and honest to goodness, you walk in there, it's like walking into another world, but we're going to talk to Alan and find out all the wonderful things he has for us today. Hello, Alan. How are you?
Good morning, Pam, and good morning to your audience today. Happy early Thanksgiving to you.
Yes.
So do you get the luxury of being a guest tomorrow, or are you the hostess in cooking?
I'm the hostess. I'll be cooking, but I don't have a lot of people to cook for. So that's an okay thing. You know, I don't mind. I enjoy it. Plus, I have my mom with me, and she always, she's right there next to me. So
wonderful, wonderful. Well, I have Kathy and I, my wife and I, between the two of us, have 6 kids scattered across the country, and 5 of those 6, we have Oklahoma City, New York City, and Columbus come in. And so our house has come to life, and it's really a joy to see the kids and grandkids, and they just really bring life to the home. Yeah. So when we think of Thanksgiving, it's being thankful for all of that.
That's wonderful. That's always so fun. It's so fun. I love that.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about what you're doing at the store right now. I was saying earlier that I was there yesterday, and when you walk in, it's like another world, and it's just enchanting. That's how I felt, enchanted by it all.
Well, I really enjoyed meeting your mother yesterday and spending time with the both of you. And Pam, this is my 48th year that I'm in the jewelry business, and I'm so blessed and so fortunate, because I have the same passion, the same commitment that I did the day I started. And there's not many people that can say that about their chosen profession.
That's right.
And the greatest thing is that I'm a part, we think of the symbolism of jewelry. Jewelry really, in its purest form, tells the story of our lives. And you were a classic case yesterday, because if I can share, is it okay for me to share?
Oh, please do, yeah.
Okay, so to come in with a ring that's yours, but came from your great grandmother, and so your mother shared with me the story that she came from France, however many years ago, and settled in the Pittsburgh area. And when you think of the challenges to come to America, my mother the same way, when she came from Spain in the 1950s, and to think of the challenges of coming here. And your mother, your great grandmother opened up a restaurant, and that was her career.
Yes,
and settled here. And to hear that you inherited the ring, skipped your mother. But you inherited a ring that was her birthstone and your birthstone.
Yes.
And so we think of all the stories and everything that ring has gone through, and the wisdom of the credit card, MasterCard, priceless, totally priceless.
I have to tell you too. Well, first of all, my mom says, make sure you tell Alan I said happy Thanksgiving. I think I forgot to say that. So she wishes you a happy Thanksgiving, but she was cracking me up, because she said in the car on the way home, she said, he's like a detective. He's looking at that ring, and he's telling us everything he knows and is finding out about that ring. And it was so interesting to us to hear all of that. And actually, I've had that ring for a long time, and I told you I wore it all the time, and then, haven't worn it recently, but it brought the ring back to life for us, because we were like, oh my gosh, now it looks shinier. Now it looks, we're we forgot how good it looked and how much we liked it, when
Yeah.
we talked more about it.
Well, it's like comfort food. You have something, and I think the older we get, the more important those things become. That may not necessarily be meaningful to anyone else, but to us, it's very, very, very special, and that's what I deal with. And yesterday, was an interesting day because for Thanksgiving, we have a lot of families that are coming into town, and kids that are right now. I'm serving my fourth generation on a pretty regular basis, which kind of ages me a little bit. But for me to be able to tell them stories about their grandfather who maybe they never met, and here to watch them as they're born, they're kids, they grow up, they relocate, they get educated, and they go someplace in the country. And so yesterday I had Los Angeles, Atlanta, Michigan yesterday. Today I have Philadelphia, New York City, and I'm trying to think of the third one. But anyhow, kids that have moved away come home to see their families over Thanksgiving, and then they have to make a trip in to see Alan for whatever reason. It might be, tomorrow I have 3 engagements that are taking place. And so that's kind of pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Because you think of Thanksgiving Day, and we think of Thanksgiving in a traditional sense, but you have a time when families are together, and when you want to celebrate something that's very, very special, very important. And here they've chosen Thanksgiving Day to pop the question.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to kind of hearing about it on Friday and Saturday when they come in. Hopefully they fit, but then our shop will be able to take care of them very quickly before they go back to wherever their home is.
Wow. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I also, I would say to people, if you have some jewelry that, you love, a piece that was, like mine was my great grandmother's or something like that, but you're thinking, nobody can do anything with this, take it in to see Alan, because you just don't know. You can be very surprised.
And we're so fortunate because Tim Stern, who has been with me for 38 years, and he's one of our jewelers, and it's been interesting to watch him grow over the years, because they always, when I say they complain to me, because I always ask them to do these crazy projects, and I say, sure, you can do this. Let's think of a way that we can get this fixed up. And they look at me like I'm crazy, but then all of a sudden, when they're done with it, and they look at it with that sense of pride, like they just painted a Picasso or something, then we've pushed them to do things that most people can't do. And because we have both stores, we have the House of Stones in downtown New Philadelphia and Jülz in downtown Canton, and our shop is so busy between both our stores, we average about 200 jobs every week. And which is pretty amazing, because there are so few good tradespeople that can do the level of detail and restoration work and jewelry work that we can do right here, right in the store.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told my mom. I said, you don't find people like Alan and his staff. You don't find them anymore. It makes you feel good when you go in, because there's a trust factor and you feel comfortable. And, whether you're buying something new or you're, bringing something in to be repaired, or all of those things, that's a big deal. I think that's a big part of it.
Well, the gal that I spoke with yesterday, she kind of brought it to light. She said, Alan, she goes, we've known each other 45 years from coming in. And so she comes in and she starts, and here we have Tim, that's still our jeweler that she's known over the years. We have Tammy in our new Philadelphia store that's been with me for 38 years. Joni, 30 years.
Wow.
So when you think of that familiarity, to be able to walk. And in life, there's something comforting as we get older to have that familiarity, whether it's your electrician, whether it's your carpenter, your plumber. You feel that you can trust them, you can make that phone call and know that you're going to be in good hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a little, for folks maybe who are just meeting you, a little bit about your background and how you got started in all of this.
Well, number one, I'm in downtown Canton, and I'm a downtowner. And I grew up not far from here as a kid, and I went to school at St. John the Baptist. And so here I am, second, third, and fourth grader. When we get done with school or on weekends, we would run all around downtown. And for a lot of you that were around then, remember when downtown Canton, and at Christmas time, Stern Man's, the way the department stores, O'Neill's, Polsky's, all the windows were all decorated, Vickery's, and the movie theaters. And so we would go to the movie theater. Now, I don't know. Now, you came to Canton in what year?
89.
89. Okay, so I'm going back to the 60s, but when The Sound of Music came out, you remember when you first saw it? Okay, it was at the Palace Theater. And then every week at the Palace Theater, The Sound of Music would say, 1 week, 2 weeks. Well, I remember seeing the sign saying 58 consecutive weeks, The Sound of Music played at the Canton Palace Theater. Wow. How popular it was there. So that kind of nostalgia is my career. When I got out of school, I was fortunate to come and start my jewelry career in 1976 with Gosser Jewelers. And that instilled a very strong sense of professionalism, because when you walked in that store in the 1970s, we had 4 watchmakers that were all kind of in their stations that were right there. We had 3 jewelers and then the gemologists. And so it was a very serious, very professional, and it instilled that sense of pride and workmanship and finish and confidence, and that stayed with me pretty much my whole career. And in 1987, I was turning 31 years old, with a 4-year-old daughter, and my wife was pregnant with our son Michael, and I had an opportunity to go to New Philadelphia and buy the House of Stones from Mr. Stone, who was retiring after 43 years. In the House of Stones, I was the 4th owner, and has a history going back to the late 1800s. And so when you see our building on the square in New Philadelphia, lit up beautifully for the holidays, it was built in 1902. And Ian is our managing director down there, and that team, they have done an incredible job with that store, and it's beautiful to walk into. So if anybody's ever down in that area, to hit the square, you get that bit of nostalgia. And so I was there, and we found that the services, we had 2 watchmakers and 3 jewelers at that time. And we start looking at that, our reputation continued with the service part of it, where we had a significant amount of Stark County coming down to shop with us, that it prompted us to open up our second store, Jülz, in 2007, right in the Millennium Center. And then we were, when our lease ran out, we purchased, this was the old Telephone Credit Union building before your time, because Ohio Bell Telephone was on the next block over. And when I was at Gosser's, I remember they employed 400 operators in that building. Now, do you remember that Lucille Ball skit where she was kind of going, plugging all the telephone wires that was there? I was never in there, but all I could imagine is all these women switchboard operators kind of doing everything. Well, this was their credit union. It was their bank. And I had an opportunity to buy the building in 2019. And we have the parking lots. You can just, with downtown parking is always a challenge, but we're fortunate that we have our own parking lot. You can just pull right in, you come in the store, and it's really pretty neat.
Yeah, very easy. And Cleveland Avenue and Fifth Street is where you're on that corner there.
Yes, if you think of the Palace Theater, we're one block west of the Palace Theater on 6th Street, right in that
Yeah,
corner.
very easy to find.
Mhm.
All right, we are going to take our break. And when we come back, we'll talk more about engagement rings and other things that maybe people might be looking at for the holidays. We'll do that with Alan Rodriguez. It is Jewels by Alan Rodriguez on Spotlight on WHBC.
Hi, this is Alan Rodriguez from Jülz, the area's newest, most unique fine jewelry store, located in downtown Canton. What makes us special? You'll see it in the beauty of our diamonds. You'll feel it in the craftsmanship of our jewelry, and you'll believe it with the professionalism of our staff. From our in-house full-time jewelers to our national award-winning designers, our genuine desire is to provide an exceptional jewelry buying experience at Jülz in downtown Canton and Rodriguez's House of Stones in New Philadelphia.
JT here for your locally owned and operated Save-A-Lot. You're never far from great savings. And as we get closer to the holidays, Save-A-Lot is offering turkeys like honeysuckle and butterball, only 79 cents a pound with a $50 purchase. Buy all of your drinks, sides, and everything you need for the holiday dinners, and the turkey is 79 cents a pound. With 6 area locations, you're never far from great savings. Honeysuckle and butterball turkeys, 79 cents a pound with a $50 purchase. Happy holidays from Save-A-Lot.
Hey, this is Paul with a Half Off and Hot Buy store in Louisville. You know our prices are super low, and now for our Black Friday sale, we are taking 25% off everything except for food, drinks, and trains. We are loaded with Christmas decor, toys, watches of all kinds, clothing, cosmetics, reading and sunglasses, health and beauty items. More and more items are coming in daily. So get an early start at Christmas at the Half Off and Hot Buy store in Louisville.
When you shop local, everybody wins. Shop local.
Shop the Bob and Pete's Floors holiday sale now through December 23rd. Or purchase a gift certificate to gift happy feet for the holidays at Bob and Pete's Floors on Tuscarora Street in Canton.
When you shop local, everybody wins. Shop local.
Hi, this is Jim Snyder of the Your Wealth, Your Retirement program, a financial education show for those seeking guidance. Are you retiring soon? Are you in the middle of changing jobs? Maybe you're just done with all of that risk in the 401k plan and you'd like to have a discussion about an early rollout. Maybe you're 70 and a half and you're in your income phase of your IRA. We can help you with all those. Give us a call at Senior Financial Group at 800-639-0824. That's 800-639-0824.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight today, talking about a wonderful local business, Jülz by Alan Rodriguez. And Alan is with us this morning, and we're talking about all the wonderful things that he has done over the years. My gosh, in the business for a very, very long time. You don't look like you should be in the business that long, Alan, honestly.
Well, thank you, Pam. Unfortunately, I don't know, when you talk about that, when I think this is my 48th year, as I shared earlier, and when I think of my earlier years, the holiday shopping period would start right around Thanksgiving. And so every night we would be open, and our staff was pretty lean at the time. But I'll tell you, it was on a regular basis. I didn't make it home before midnight on those days. And then the week before Thanksgiving, I remember at our store in early years with the House of Stones in New Philadelphia, that I was down doing some engraving at 4 o'clock in the morning. And this is Christmas week. And I was engraving this pewter mug. And I made a mistake on it. And so I was so angry. I picked it up, threw it against the wall, went home, slept for 2 hours, came back in and went at it again. And here I was, we talk about when we're younger, we have the stamina, the endurance, we can do it. Now I can't make it past 10 o'clock at night and I'm already falling asleep. But still having fun. And when you think of being in the romance business, we think about all the changes, with engagement rings. Back then, we would have regularly young, when I say young kids, 18, 19, 20 years old coming in, sometimes out of high school. Then we start seeing them 23, 24, 25. And now what the trend and what I'm seeing a lot with our clients is that we find them in their 30s now. They're getting themselves established professionally. They're settled in their careers. They meet someone that they fall in love with, and then they end up getting engaged in their early 30s and having children. My mother, when she came to the United States, she was 36 when she met my father and got married. She'd never been married. And so I was her firstborn when she was 38. Now you think about this, back in the 1950s, my youngest brother, the fourth one, was born 7 years after that. So she was 45 when my youngest brother was born. And when I was a kid, everyone thought they were my grandparents, which they technically could have been. Well, what's happening now when I see this I call them the new generation of newly married kids, that they're starting their families in their 30s, and there's a different way of approach, and they're more grounded. You watch them as parents, and it's been fun to go through that. But the trends, we were talking about engagement trends, and when I first started, a guy would come in the store, and there was pretty much one go-to ring, and it was a yellow gold solitaire. And what that means is just a gold ring with one diamond in the middle. And we made them, they were bulletproof. I had a gal that was in about 2 weeks ago, and when I jokingly say she flashes me, she flashes her ring to me, and it was an engagement ring that I did for her in 1977 that she still wears 24/7. And so if it's done well and it's done right, it's timeless, number one. And to what else in life? I don't know of anything anybody can own in their life that they can wear 24/7, like a well-made ring or a bracelet or a necklace. The necklace that I have on right now, when I was baptized, my grandparents gave me a religious medal when I was baptized. And then when I had my confirmation at age 13, I got a chain that to go with it. And I put that on, and Pam, and here I am 56 years later, still wearing this 24/7. I never take it off, other than I'll clean it every now and then.
Wow.
And when you think of I would be lost, I don't know what my life. It's such a part of me. And so when you think of those solitaires back then, we talk about what goes around comes around. Then in the it was all yellow gold. And then in the 1990s, around 2000, everyone started switching to silver and white gold. And then that lasted for about 21 years. And we started seeing yellow gold about a year ago kind of creep back in. And today we're selling more engagement rings in yellow gold than we are white gold. And then the white gold ones were, the fancier with the halos and all the cool, all the little diamonds around them. And now I'll bet you 4 out of every 5 engagement rings that we're selling right now are yellow gold, and they're plain solitaires with one diamond, just like it was back 50 years ago. And these guys are coming in, and they love the idea because they can choose it themselves. But the way we have them made is that the girl, when they go to pick out their wedding rings, anything she wants will fit perfect with it. Wide, skinny, with diamonds, without diamonds, engraving, whatever it is. And our team is so creative in the way we do things. We give them ideas that they never even thought of when you see that.
That was what my engagement ring was. So it's like they like retro things, they like to get things that are what's old is new again, as we always like.
Absolutely, totally, more than ever.
Yeah. All right, we have to break for the news right now. And when we come back, I want to talk about the big selection, all the different things that you have, because when I walked in there yesterday, obviously I was, you don't know where to go first. There's so much to see. So we'll talk more about that. It is Spotlight, Jülz by Alan Rodriguez on 1480 WHBC.
Looking for a great deal on water softener salt? For a limited time, Verndale Water Experts is running a great special. Get $1 off per bag of their high purity solar salt for water softeners. No limit on quantity, and you can even get it delivered. It's a great salt at a great price. Shop Verndale Water Experts today.
WHBC AM 10, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, Cleveland city leaders are working to strengthen the city's laws in an effort to curtail a rise in street takeovers that have gripped the community in recent months. Cleveland City Council approving new legislation to strengthen street racing laws. It makes stunt driving, blocking intersections, burnouts, and other items illegal. It also allows police to seize vehicle components used in those takeovers, including tires, steering wheels, and mufflers. If someone breaks the law, they'll be fined and they'll receive a 30-day license suspension. President Joe Biden will attend the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. A White House spokesman says Biden will attend Trump's inauguration. He and the First Lady will honor the promise and attend. They also say he views that as an important demonstration of commitment to our democratic values. Trump did not attend Biden's 2021 inauguration, which was the first time in 150 years that a president did not attend the inauguration of his successor. Having a traffic accident can be traumatic, but this one was over the top. Just after midnight Tuesday, a large box truck ran into the back of an RV north of Kenly, North Carolina. What made it so unusual was what was inside. 5 people, 28 snakes, 2 tortoises, 5 bearded dragons, 2 dogs, and a cat. At least one of the snakes was a highly venomous viper, but was caught by its owner before the EMS arrived. I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's a look at your AccuWeather forecast. Going to be expecting a cloudy day overall with a high temp of 46 degrees, off and on snow and rain overnight, 36, changing to all snow in the morning, and then heading into the afternoon tomorrow, we'll see a rain-snow mix again with a high of 41. You can always get the latest weather news, track the radar, and see what kind of precipitation is expected by downloading our free AccuWeather app or check the full forecast at AccuWeather.com. I'm Jeff Nordine for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Take advantage of the extra 10% discount on all styles of FlexSteel furniture during FlexSteel's Black Friday sale. Hi, I'm Jim Casey of Casey's Furniture. Save on quality FlexSteel upholstered furniture in fabric and leather through December 4th. Save on reclining and stationary sofas, love seats, sectionals, and chairs. Browse freely through our FlexSteel gallery and see the quality of FlexSteel furniture. Be sure to sit down and feel the comfort. Our knowledgeable salespeople are here to help you without being pushy. Casey's Furniture, 7170 Portage Street, 2.8 miles west of I-77 at exit 111, the Strip exit in Jackson Township. Save an extra 10% during FlexSteel's Black Friday sale through December 4th at Casey's Furniture. Casey's will be closed Thanksgiving Day to be with their families. Visit us at caseysfurniture.com.
Hi, this is Alan Rodriguez from Jülz in downtown Canton and the House of Stones in New Philadelphia. Having spent 43 years in the romance business, I've been a part of thousands of engagements, weddings, births, and countless celebrations of life. Let our in-house staff of jewelers, award-winning designers, gemologists, and our professional sales team create an incredible experience that becomes a lifelong memory. Visit us soon at Jülz in our new location in downtown Canton and the House of Stones in New Philadelphia, when it's just too important to trust anyone else.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC. Pam Cook with you this morning, and Jülz by Alan Rodriguez. Alan is with us today, and we've been talking about the store and engagements and gifts and just so many wonderful things. And when I walked in there yesterday, Alan, and there are cases with beautiful crosses. My mom was looking at those and the watches, and there's just so many things. But when we went in to the room where we sat with you, just the cases of rings. I tell boys, young men, my sons who are going to prepare to be engaged at any time soon, do your research. Know what the girl wants, because there's a lot to choose from.
You're absolutely right with that. And it can be very overwhelming at first. But one of the things that we've learned over the years with all our experience is that if we ask the right questions and we sit and we talk them, and just like your mother had mentioned to you, she says, I'm a detective. And what's so important, our shop has taught us so much about what makes a good, durable, hard-wearing piece of jewelry. I shared earlier that we average over 200 jobs per week. Well, 95% of those jobs that come through our store, we never sold. And so we understand, why are diamonds falling out? Why are shanks breaking? Why are prongs breaking? And as a result of that, when we start making things, we do things to minimize all those risks. The prong work is heavy enough at the top. An engagement ring, properly done. When you think of prong work, you have 4 prongs that hold the diamond. And if you think of prong work like a new set of tires, and you're going to get 50,000 miles or whatever it happens to be, well, over the years, those treads will wear down, the tires will need to be replaced. Well, in jewelry, it's the same thing. When you have, those prongs over the 24/7 wear, the way we expect to wear a ring, over the years are going to get worn down. Well, the way we do ours, the alloys, the methods of manufacturing, on the average, I don't expect to have to do any kind of maintenance on a major stone for 12 to 14 years in white gold. And here, I can't tell you how many come into our shop that aren't even a year old. That here they're requiring maintenance already because the prong work is too thin. It's not substantial enough. The side diamonds are falling off because you have all those little prongs that are tissue paper thin. And here the gal hasn't even had her engagement ring a year, and she's already having problems with it. And so we learn from all of those situations, and we ask the right questions. So when a guy comes in and he says, wow, he goes, where do I even start? Well, anymore, with Instagram, and what do they call these boards these girls have? They can post their pictures of their dream ring, their dream dress, and all the things that they have. And so they make it a lot easier. A lot of times the guy can look on their board, on their Pinterest board, Pinterest board, and it has, she likes this, doesn't like this, got to be long, not too skinny. And so there's a little bit of a roadmap that we have, and they can entrust the confidence of maybe their soon-to-be fiance's sister or mother or someone that can kind of give them some supplemental advice. And we take away that fear factor pretty much right away. A little time with us, they're going to feel confident, safe, and secure that we know what we're doing. We're going to make it right, and it's going to last them a very, very, very long time, and that's worth every penny in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, you look at things and you see something and you don't realize what you liked. I thought I liked a round one, but boy, maybe I like that emerald cut, or something like that.
And we talk about those things, and when we think of sparkle and brightness, and it all is a function of the craftsmanship of that diamond cutter. And as you know, I regularly go overseas to some of the major diamond cutting centers in the world. And I've been going to Antwerp, Belgium, which about 80% of the commerce of the world's diamonds go through this port city. And when I work with these cutters, there are 6th-generation cutters. And to be a diamond cutter in Belgium, it's a 7-year apprenticeship. Can you imagine that? Something so small that you have to study it for 7 years. And if that diamond is 1 carat or larger, it takes 4 separate specialists to cut that one diamond. And the level of experience that they have to have, minimum of 10 years, because if you mess it up, it's a pretty expensive mistake that you're going to be making. And so when you look at a diamond, and initially you think, oh my goodness, why is this so expensive? And in my early years, I questioned it myself. But after seeing everything that it goes through and the beauty that comes out of it, I'm amazed that they're able to put it in a case at the prices that they do.
Yeah, they are stunning. There's just so much to choose from. But let's also talk about other things that you have as well. I mean, as I walked around the store, there's other jewelry, but watches are a big part of what people bring to you, correct?
Exactly. And, that's the other thing, when you think of a dying trade, trying to find good watchmakers anymore. There I don't even know if there's an average. If I said the average age and I just guessed, if I said 65 years old, I wouldn't be that far off, because what, unfortunately, for a good watchmaker, if you think of a watchmaker as a good mechanic, and if your watch stops and you bring it in and it has to be completely gone over, taken apart and redone, that's about a 10-hour job. And so if you think of what you have to pay your electrician, your plumber, or whoever comes to your home, your heating and cooling tech on an hourly basis, and you multiply that by 10 hours, you can do the math. And most people say, I'm just going to buy another watch. I'm not going to spend the money to have this done. And so you can't, the wages, and unfortunately haven't kept up with that and they're not entering that profession. Number one, they don't have the patience to go through all those years of training working with something so small. But it's been very, very, very difficult. But I've been fortunate that over my career, we'll do a lot of watch work here at the store. But I've always been a strong believer is that who can do the best job. And if we can do a job better than anyone else, we're going to do it right here in the store. If there's someone that can do a better job than us, these are relationships, craftsmen are from around the world. I have pieces going to Spain, going to Italy, going to Germany, just because the talent and the skills of those craftsmen, I can't find that work in the United States. So for us, it's who can do the best job, and that's what we want to have done for the people we serve.
And how that, I would imagine some of that has changed so much since you began 48 years ago. Things become different, right?
Very, very, very different. When you go 48 years ago, I remember in my mother's case, my parents, when I was a kid on Friday nights, or it would be date night, and my mother would get her best dress. My dad would have his jacket and tie, and they'd be coming downtown to Bender's or Mergis's. You weren't around probably. Mergis was a great place downtown. Top Chalet, all the classic old, the Four Winds, all the classic old Dick Logan's. I mean, that would be a nostalgic restaurant hop story in itself. When we think of all the great restaurants, but they got dressed up. And my mother would put on her best jewelry, and it would be fancy and beautiful. And then she'd come on, she'd put it away until the next time. And so diamond bracelets, diamond necklaces, were strictly limited to the most formal of occasions. And then now, as we start seeing how much more casual our world has become, the challenge is in the expectation, because they want to be able to wear these diamond bracelets, diamond necklace, diamond earrings with a yoga outfit, or running to the grocery store. And so, you'll hear me talk about everyone has their own comfort level. And so you have to kind of make styles that aren't so formal, but you can still have the appreciation for fine jewelry. So you'll see our bracelet designs that are geared, of course, it's, when I talk about the durability, but still to have something that it's like putting on a fine suit. When you put it on, you feel the drape of the bracelet, you feel the heaviness of it, and you can see with your own eyes that you have something special. And so you'll see our bracelets, you'll see our necklaces, the chains. The chains can't be so delicate that they're going to break real easy. The clasps, as we get older, it's harder to work those little tiny little clasps. So, here you are with all, everybody we sit down with, we sit there, okay, let's try one a little bit larger, and this might be a little easier for you to work with. And so we tailor to the individual. And so custom, when we talk about custom, and I think, I don't know if you want to talk about that in another segment after your break, but, custom in the old days was a very labor intensive process. But now with modern technology, we can create custom pieces for not much more than the price of what you see it off the shelf and are ready to wear.
Yeah. All right. We will take that final break and we'll come back. We'll talk more about that and all the things that Alan has to offer. It's Jülz by Alan Rodriguez and the House of Stone on the Square in New Philadelphia. This is Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
Hi, this is Alan Rodriguez from Jülz, the area's newest, most unique fine jewelry store, located in downtown Canton. What makes us special? You'll see it in the beauty of our diamonds. You'll feel it in the craftsmanship of our jewelry, and you'll believe it with the professionalism of our staff. From our in-house full-time jewelers to our national award-winning designers, our genuine desire is to provide an exceptional jewelry buying experience at Jülz in downtown Canton and Rodriguez's House of Stones in New Philadelphia.
Hey, this is Paul with a half-off and hot buy store in Louisville. You know our prices are super low, and now for our Black Friday sale, we are taking 25% off everything except for food, drinks, and trains. We are loaded with Christmas decor, toys, watches of all kinds, clothing, cosmetics, reading and sunglasses, health and beauty items. More and more items are coming in daily. So get an early start at Christmas at the half-off and hot buy store in Louisville.
Tune in each Saturday morning at 8 a.m. for the Money Matters radio show. Hosts Bob Foudy and David Ryan help you make your money matter. Find out how today's economy, debt levels, and policies affect your hard-earned money. You've made your money. Now it's time to watch it grow. Tune in to the hour-long Money Matters radio show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. right here on News Talk 1480 WHBC. To speak to Bob Foudy or Dave Ryan about your money matters, call New Horizon Financial Group in Canton at 330-499-1915. 330-499-1915.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real
Texting
people.
enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text HIM to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text HIM to 321-321. That's HIM to 321-321.
There are Black Friday deals, and then there are Kohl's Black Friday deals. Where else can you get 40% off Levi's, up to 50% off Sephora fragrances, and home favorites for under $10, all in the same place? And it gets better. You can score extra Kohl's Cash with $15 earned for every $50 spent. Get 15% off some of your finds, and save even more with limited time doorbusters, like 50% off toys. Select styles. Offers end November 29th. Coupons do not apply to Levi's and toys. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Some restrictions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And we are back for our final segment with Alan Rodriguez, Jülz by Alan Rodriguez. And also don't forget about the House of Stones in New Philadelphia. And Alan, we've got about 3 minutes. I'd say about 3-4 minutes left in our program this morning. And, will you guys be open? You're open extra hours, a little bit of extra hours for the holidays and that kind of thing?
We are. We're one of the nice things is that for us, because of the personalized commitment we make to our customers, we work a lot by appointment. So that way, my recommendation is if someone has a project that they're thinking of, that to call up the store, get on our calendar, we sit down. That way, we can devote 100% to that person right at that time. If they just happen to walk in, we're going to do the best that we can. But if the store can get pretty busy and they may not necessarily be able to have that 100% attention that we always like to provide. So we'll have our regular hours, and our regular hours are Sunday and Monday that we're closed, and then Tuesday through Saturday. And from about 10 o'clock in the morning until 5:30 at night. And anything before or after, we can certainly accommodate by private appointment for whatever reason. And in that way, we're able to really focus in and not be distracted. So we were talking a little bit earlier about, I told you about the custom, and I want to talk a little bit about that because, today, picking up because the family that's coming in from all over the country for Thanksgiving with their parents, the mother has come in to me and she has, let me think what we're making up, 7 necklaces that were taking apart a necklace that was the grandmother's. And we took apart pieces for the granddaughters, the daughters, and the granddaughters. And here, each of these recipients is going to have a piece of their grandmother and great-grandmother in one case, in some cases. And that necklace, they're going to be all the same. And so on Thanksgiving, around the Thanksgiving table, they're going to all open up. They're going to have that common bond that they're going to have for the rest of their life, which is pretty cool. And that's one of the things that's a part of our DNA from day one, where we can reconstruct, repurpose family heirlooms to the point where if we can divide them up among the kids, so we don't have to worry who's going to get this necklace or who's going to get that bracelet. We can repurpose them. In the old days, custom work was very labor intensive. In the model making, I do the drawings, then Rod would do a wax carving, then you would try on the wax after several hours of carving, and you'd think, oh, it's too big or too small or not quite the right size. Then we pitch it and start all over again. Well, modern design with CAD design, computer-aided design, we draw the picture, it gets translated by a CAD designer. The CAD designer creates the piece, does a 3D printing of the wax, and then if you put it on and you think, oh, Alan, it's just a little bit too wide this way, then we go back in, type in a couple little measurements, boom, hit print, hit another 3D piece, and then once you're done with that, then that model is used for the casting. So it's much more efficient. And as I said earlier, we're not really paying a big premium at all compared to the old days of the model making. And
that's awesome.
And that's something that we specialize in. We take a lot of pride in, and to have everyone wants that piece that's so unique, that's so distinctively tailored for their particular lifestyle. And that's really what the important is. We're good listeners and we execute it, and to do things, as you said earlier, that they don't even think about that will benefit them for many, many years to come.
And their memories are made. So that's a wonderful
100%.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
330-455-5555 is your number.
Easy number to remember.
Very easy. So call and make the appointment, and over the holidays, go in to see Alan, and you won't be disappointed. Thank you so much for coming on today, sir.
Glad to be with you, Pam. Happy Thanksgiving to you and to your listening audience. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the store.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Alan Rodriguez from Jülz in downtown Canton.